Alright, so here's part 2 to the video. There will be a part 3 because I still don't fucking have everything done yet. And there's still a lot of fucking to do. So I went ahead and used all 6 of the tile sheets out of the bundle. So I made like a metric shit ton of fucking terrain. Like I probably made way too much. But on the bright side, I'll never play on the same like setup twice, unless you intentionally fucking do it. But this video is going to be pretty much the same as the first one, except they'll be around the 11-minute and 30-second mark. Like all the materials and shit laid out for you. I went to Home Depot and took a bunch of pictures, and I tried to do a video, but people kept fucking staring at me and shit. Constantly getting in the way. It seemed like they were just like fucking with me. Like, I don't know, people, contractors in Tampa, like people, whenever you're trying to do something and you're nowhere near them, they just like, I don't know, people seem like more confrontational these days in Tampa. It could be because most of these people are fucking out-of-staters. But back to the video. So this right here is one of the builds. It's a church. I mean, you could tell by the front. Churches tend to have like some basic designs to them, just like houses or like industrial buildings. There's like just a basic outline to like a church. It's got the large front. There's usually some stained glass windows near the top part. I don't know what it's called, where was like almost like a bell tower. Just that little top of the church on the front where it peaks. There's usually some kind of like window or some shit there. Pillars. It's kind of hard to get a fucking church wrong. But it doesn't have to be highly detailed. You don't have to do a lot of detail. As long as you get the like basic outline of it, people will see it and understand, hey, that's a church. And I ended up making doubles of everything except for like the front part of the building. So the two sides have 2 sets of walls, and the back part has 2 sets of walls. So you can change the church up quite a bit. And these windows that I put on the church are longer than any of the other windows for the other buildings, so the church will stand out and look different. And usually churches tend to have like very large stained glass windows. Here in Tampa, we have like an old Catholic church in downtown, real Gothic looking, and then most of the small churches, like the Hispanic churches, they're made of wood, but they have almost that same style with the same front and stuff. When you drive past the church, you usually know it's a church without it like saying anything. And these are the little like pillars that I made for the sides. Very simple. You'll see it complete later. So this was another building I made, and this is more like I would say like a housing kind of apartment building, where the windows are a lot lower, and you see there's 2 sets of lines I drew. The first line is that inch, and then the second line down on the base of the building that's going all the way across all the foam is like the ½ inch. So usually most models, like unless it's Primaris and shit, but like Eldar, regular Firstborn Space Marines, Orcs and shit, pretty much all the other normal models have a hard time seeing over like an inch, and most of them don't stand usually more than like most of them were like 1.5 inches will be way too fucking high for them to see. So that's why I put that second line in there, and I dropped the windows down there. So these buildings, you'll be able to put people up next to the like windows and actually see them. played my first. Well, I didn't play, but I had friends over yesterday, and we pretty much did our first like 10 edition game, and try to go out and pick up the Leviathan box because I haven't read all the rules, and I know that like the terrain rules are a little bit different now. I'm a little bit interested in that. I really miss the second edition terrain rules probably the most, where you can level buildings and shit, and there's just like a lot more interaction with the buildings and stuff. And hopefully we get a little bit of that in 10th. I know there's a lot of fucking drama going on with the Eldar and their fate dice and shit. That's kind of funny. It's like, you know, don't let a GW pass up a good chance to make something retarded overpowered and just fuck it up. It's not surprising. Not anymore, anyway. I'm thinking of doing like a video where I pretty much like complain about like orcs, because I'm getting back into the orcs, and it just seems like orcs have become very vanilla and boring. You know, they don't have a lot of tanks. They just get like the battle wagon, and they just get versions of the battle wagon, and you get like pretty much one truck to put everything in it. And you know, it seems like they want Gazgul to join units and shit, but he still takes up 18 slots in a truck. So it's like, well, he's got to foot slog it everywhere. He's probably not going to survive like a no man's land situation. Some people are saying otherwise. I call bullshit on that, especially the way like a lot of the heavy weapons are working now, being so powerful and shit. But the amount of like new anti-tank shit, I don't see that like him surviving out in the open naked, unless you have like a huge like wave of grots or boys in front of him. I just wish they'd make like a super battle wagon where it's nothing but like almost like how you do it with the kill rig, right? Like I think the boot was the Buddhas, the pirate fucking orcs. I can't think of their name right now. Like they should get a vehicle where it's like a battle wagon, but like fucking like a sled, where they can just stand on the outside and just shoot all their fucking guns. You know, like why not? And I ended up making back to the fucking video. I'm going to rant about orcs all day. But also made some craters. Pretty much easy to make. You know, I've made videos about craters. You can't fuck them up too much, even though like I fucked this one up by burning the inside a little too much. Also, wear a mask. Always wear your mask when doing this shit. Try to do it outside if you can. I did it inside, but it's been storming for the last 3 fucking days. And here's some other craters. I made about 12 of them because I had big chunks of foam that wasn't used from the first 2 building tiles that I made. So there was big chunks in the middle that, you know, I couldn't use for anything else, so I ended up using it for the craters and shit. So I made a good amount of craters. In part 3, you'll see like all the terrain that I have stacked up, and then the third video should be the final video. Me building it, texturing it, and painting it. That's where I'm at now. I just need to get my boards cut, and I need to find some fucking texture stuff from Home Depot because they're completely out of it. But here's the church. Like I said, it's got 2 of each wall, and you could switch them around. I think that's one of the things I like about doing terrain like this, where it's not glued down to a board, the whole piece, is you can move the actual building, or just remove walls entirely. You don't even have to have like all 4 walls there. You do whatever the fuck you want. I'm probably going to put like a lip on the inside, so you can put somebody and like have them sniping out that like the window, the round window. This is another building I made. I end up like breaking apart one of the front parts. Like this is the front right here with the door. I'll show you that in a little bit. I was like, it's not bad. It's not great either. I think the church is my favorite. And I'll put like some levels in there, just enough for like a line of guys of like 10 or 5 can stand on the inside. Nothing like super, like you know, not a whole floor. But I ridiculously have a shit ton of terrain. I should have probably put it at the end of this video, but this video is almost like 13 minutes long, and YouTube doesn't like it when you make shit too long. Yeah, so I broke the front apart. I'll put some like on the fronts. I'm definitely going to put some like ledges and shit where you can stand on the inside and shoot out. I'm not going to put a lot. I'm just going to like sporadically put them here and there. So if you got like a 5-man unit or some snipers or some shit, you know, you could use the terrain to your advantage. So, okay, this is the important part. This is Home Depot. These bundles of 6 went down like 40 cents. So now you're looking at $10. Here's the fucking texturing, the drywall mix that I use. And you can see it's fucking empty. But this is what it looks like. It's a black and white, you know, jug, Proform, all-purpose. Thought about picking up one of these, but I want to keep it within the budget and be honest. But I don't know. The problem too with this shit is even with that cheap plastic top, if you seal it even like as good as you can, it still fucking dries out over time. So I really suggest the small $10 jug. So here's the tempered boards that I use. The boards in the space are not the fucking right boards. No one at Home Depot apparently knows how to read or put shit where it belongs, so I had to dig through other slots to find it. But that is the dimensions there, and the prices are correct. That is this hardy board, whatever. It's pretty good. It comes in that 2x4 sheet. You know, I've used it on tons of shit. So here's the foam. And these sheets are like the 4x8, and I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. Alright, so like you have your choices of like styrofoam. You have the Pink Panther stuff, which you see here, which goes like, I think the ½ inch is $30, and then the inch is like $36. It's a lot more expensive, and the reason is that because it's 2 different types of foams. Remember, this is for insulation. So it has a higher R rating, which is only matters if you're building shit like in your house or you're using it for insulation and stuff. But that's the reason why this stuff costs so much more. Now the Pink Panther form isn't bad. Like if you're doing Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that, or you're trying to do like a castle wall and you want to cut in like individual like bricks and shit, this is the stuff for you. But yeah, it is fucking expensive. Well, you know, it's only $31 for like the inch sheet. It's still kind of pricey, but you are getting a 4x8 sheet of it, so it's fucking huge. But you can get a 2-inch white styrofoam for I think a little bit more. And the white styrofoam, I recommend. You know, the hot knife, you can still cut detail into it, but you can't cut fine detail into it. If you're going to make a whole table of like hills and shit, I recommend getting the 2-inch 4x8 white sheet styrofoam. It's on the right now. That little like aluminum shit, you can peel that right off. If you go slow and take your time, it'll come right off. I wouldn't like just rip it like a fucking Band-Aid, because then you're going to rip chunks of foam out. But at 2 inches thick, you can make some nice hills and stuff. They also sell a little like 2x2 sheet, and you can see it's $6 change. If you're doing 1 or 2 buildings, I would make an argument that you can pick this up. You know, if you're doing like that heavy, like that detail, that like Dungeons and Dragons, if you want like tile marks and stuff like that. Other than that, I really recommend just the white foam. You know, $10 for the small little bundles that you get 6 panels, or that 4x8 that comes in a 2 inches thick. You can't really go wrong with that. And even if you wanted to do like hills and shit, or you just wanted like thick pieces of foam, really is the easiest way to go about it. You won't have to glue a whole bunch of small ones together to make it. You just probably get like, cut 2 chunks out of that 2-inch thick sheet and go with that. And you can see it's $36. So for the amount of foam that you're getting in that 2-inch thick sheet, you're getting double the Pink Panther foam. You know, because one's 1 inch, this is 2 inch, and you're paying like $6 more. So the white stuff is great for just like cheap hills, plain looking buildings with not a lot of detail. Pretty much your generic terrain stuff. You know, you want to do some trenches, you want to do hills, you want to make like a river. That's more than adequate. The Pink Panther stuff for like the fine details. I want to make a gravel road, but I don't want to put actual rocks down. Or you want to like I can't think of the company, the guys who do green stuff, who make the green stuff. They sell those roller pins that have like the textures of tiles and shit and bricks. You can press that down on the pink foam, and the pink foam will hold that texture. So like if you want to make, you know, like I said, detailed stuff, go with the pink foam. You know, it's still not a bad price. It's a little bit pricey because everything's gone fucking up, but you really get the value out of it if you're going for that kind of thing. The other thing I'm going to talk about is the foam in a can. So great stuff is another type of like foam insulator. Your red and yellow is your basic great stuff. Probably expands, like if you do an inch bead, it probably expands to 2 to 3 inches. The cans on the top right, the black and yellow, I believe that's the extended expansion, so that shit blows up to like 4 to 5 inches. And then your black, silver top and blue can, they change the cans every couple fucking months. Is like for windows and stuff. So like if you do a tiny bead, that bead usually stays the same size. So I think the one that stays the same size, it'll say like windows and doors and shit, because you don't want that to expand, because it'll fuck up the jambs of the door or crack the glass in the window, because the foam can fucking expand, especially the black can. That shit gets really big. I really recommend, if you're going to use it outdoors when you can. There is a little bit of a fume runoff. The other cans are for like fire retardant shit. I wouldn't use that, especially without a mask. That shit's probably toxic as fuck. But your basic cans, that's another way you could do like foam hills and stuff like that. Let it sit for a few hours. It dries completely hard, and then you can carve into it. Thanks for watching. This video is now 20 fucking minutes because I've ranted like a fool. Part 3 will probably be coming in a month or so. Other than that, take care. Bye bye. And that's it. All right. Bye.